Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Marlon Bowling, your tour guide to the ag commodities, and let's take a look at our grain trade as we were firming up last time we checked. In that last half hour, we had the corn going up about 3 or 4 cents. Let's see what we're up to right now. On December, we're 3 higher at 3.91, and we have the March now 3 higher at 4.02 and a half. Now 3 1/4 higher on both of them. So hanging in there toward the upper end of the trading range today. If we look at our soybean market, we currently have November trading 9 higher at 9.15. And kind of a quiet open this morning in the Globex trade. We actually had a low of 9.03 1/4, so we've come off of that now by almost 12 cents. And January soybeans up 7 3/4. On the wheat market in Chicago, we currently have that nearby December contract still down 3 cents on the day. That is priced at 4.92 3/4. In Kansas City, we have a softer tone as well. We have December down 3 1/4 at 4.11 3/4. A lot of weakness in the Minneapolis wheat today as well. Looking at the December contract there, we are trading about 6 lower, and it's currently trading at 5.38 and a half. So it's just not getting any traction at all. I want to bring in Brian Hoops of Midwest Market Solutions. He is in Springfield, Missouri, and get his thoughts on this market action that we have. This is the first trading day of October, so by all rights, we should have a clean trading slate right now, right? Everybody should have maybe locked in all their profits, done their book squaring, their window dressing, as they call it, yesterday, and now it should be a case where they could reestablish positions, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, in theory, that sounds good, and that's probably what we are seeing, Marlon. We are coming into this week, according to the last Commitment of Traders report, with the large spec traders short about 42,000 contracts of corn. In soybeans, they were just slightly net long. And so what we saw yesterday was some active short covering in the corn. They bought probably close to 25,000 contracts yesterday alone, and we're seeing more buying interest today. I think the trade believes that the bottom has been formed in the corn and soybeans, and now we're seeing prices rally on some active short covering. And we just saw a real strong rally in Minneapolis wheat on heavy fund short covering that produced a rally of about 75 cents. It'll be interesting to see how high this rally in corn and soybeans can take us as some of these fund traders cover their short positions.
I know it's kind of rare, but are you looking for a contra-seasonal move during harvest now?
Yeah, I think we'll see the funds step in and start to build in a little bit of a long position, net long position in the fourth quarter. That's their normal pattern. We establish the harvest lows, and we start to see some speculative buying interest to see how high these harvest lows can take us, and we see just retracement rallies, or if there's some weather issues in South America when they start planting corn and soybeans, if those weather issues will translate into much higher prices as we go through the winter months. And so we're in that process now where we've established our lows, and now we're starting to work our way into some retracement levels.
And that brings to mind a story that we had earlier this week about the, Argentina. They were expecting to have a whole bunch more soybeans this year, but it's been so dry. Now they may be rethinking that. We'll come back here in a moment, Brian, and we'll take a look at our cattle and hog markets as well. Brian Hoops is our guest, and we'll be back after these messages. We're talking with Brian Hoops right now. He's with Midwest Market Solutions out of Springfield, Missouri. And let's look at our live cattle board to see how we now stand at mid-session here. Well, we're just a little bit softer, not much, but we have December down 30 now at 110 even. And I commented last half hour, it just seems like it gravitates around that 110 mark all day long. We've been, give or take, about a dime of that area here most of the morning. February live cattle down 13 cents at 116.50. On the feeder cattle side of the ledger, we have the November now down $1.28 at 140.65. We currently have all the contract months at least $1 lower. For example, January down $1.10 at 137.22. So that's $1.50 off our earlier high this morning. Meanwhile, on the lean hog market, we currently have the October down $2.50 and December down $2.67. At 69.92. It's currently making a new low for the day as we look at it. Yesterday about this time we had sharp losses and it was starting to turn around by now. It's not happening today and we're pushing the downward side of the envelope here. Brian, let's get your thoughts on what's going on here. First of all, with the cattle market here, we had the big gains in the cash market last Friday. Can't seem to build on that. How come?
Well, the show list numbers that came out yesterday are much larger than a week ago, and that has threatened the cash markets for this week. 263,000 head on this week's show list, up from about 237,000 head last week. So I really look for the cash markets to take a step backwards here this week. I think the futures are a little bit overbought, and we're now in the new month here. We should see this market, I think, have a gradual setback, trying to anticipate where that cash is going to be. So feeder cattle, you would expect we would be down with higher corn prices. In fact, I thought we'd be down even harder than what we were yesterday with corn up about 15 cents. But we are setting back from our most recent highs.
Yeah, some had wondered if the Packers could draw on contract cattle now this week after the first of the month. Real quickly here on the lean hogs, why the sharp loss today?
Yeah, the hogs are just kind of in their own world. Sharp gains yesterday, giving back some of that today. Really no fundamental reason to say that they should be down as much as they are, other than you're just seeing, I think, some positioning because it's the end of the month yesterday and some new month selling coming into the market today.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Brian Hoops of Midwest Market Solutions in Springfield, Missouri, our guest for this segment. And John, that's how things are shaping up at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Marlon.